Good afternoon, Zach.
How you doing, Mr. Goran?
How do you feel, sir?
Feel amazing.
Do you?
Every day I wake up.
I love your attitude. You should feel amazing. You had a fantastic year last year.
I appreciate that.
And the way this year is shaping up for you, I think you're going to crush all goals
Yeah,
that were ever
I
set
agree.
here by anybody before, because you're on a trajectory to massive success.
I appreciate that.
Let me ask you a question, brother.
Mm-hmm.
When you first got into real estate, well, first of all, why? Why did you get into real estate? Well, what was the reason?
The main reason, so I have a bachelor's degree in marketing. I went for 4 years. Finished up when I was 21. The reason why I got out of it, I looked at what an average marketer made, and it was like $61,000. And with the debt I was already in and the money I paid for school, I was studying real estate on the investment side since I was probably 17. Duplexes, commercial buildings, multifamily commercial. I just love the investment side of real estate, just the passive income approach, one day retire my parents. And one of my mentees at the time, he taught me, he said, listen, dude, you cannot try to raise $20 million, $15 million, $10 million, on a syndication level, raising money and then refinancing, paying dividends to my investors. You can't have the credibility by selling gutters, or which I was doing at the time, or selling cars. So he said, become a mortgage agent, a real estate agent, an appraiser, just get your skin in the game. And, I was already in the field of work on, interacting with people and whatnot. I know mortgage agents tend to sit at the desk and make some phone calls, and I like the interaction approach towards being a realtor. So that's the road I went.
You've been in the business now for quite a few years, and what you thought the business was going to be and what the reality of the business is there a big difference in what you thought it would be and what it is now? And what is that difference, if there or two?
I think everybody thinks like it's selling Sunset, right? Go show.
What? It's not?
Go show beautiful homes, let's write this offer and make $20,000. I got people to this day that message me, and sometimes it offends me because they think it came easy, right? So they'll say, hey, Zach, I'm thinking about getting into real estate. And I don't discourage them from doing it, but I tell them just don't half-ass it. Give it your all, because there's a misleading belief system that you can just come in here and make several of hundreds of thousands of dollars with little to no work. But the amount of discipline that you have to be successful is far more than I intended. But
what do people misunderstand of what you do?
So my ex said I just stuck a sign in the ground.
But you don't even do that.
That's what I'm saying. I think people just think we run open houses, sit at the house. But there's a lot more to that, right? Like we're part therapists. Like I got to coach people through the most important financial decision of their life. And, I thank God for that every single day. It's a huge component, in my life. It's taught me not even to be better as a realtor, but to be better as a human, to be able to sympathize and put myself on their level. So, I'd say the misguided perception is that we just, sit around the house, shoot some videos, so on and so forth.
What's a few things that you do that a client doesn't see?
Push their listing when I'm making phone calls, right? I think this is important too, right? Like if you're not constantly on the phone, and even this is why an exclusive listing is so important, and I touch on that, even if we're thinking about listing you in 6 months, I typically get an exclusive listing. Last year, I'm pretty sure I sold 7 off market to our team.
Awesome.
Right? So it's just having those conversations when you're making 100 phone calls a day and someone says, yeah, I'm considering to purchase a single family home in Windsor. And you're like, perfect, I got one. Not only does that help me with, the I guess, confirmation that I'm active in the business and I have access to these off-market properties, but it helps the seller with the exposure as well.
Zach, what is your standard when no one is watching?
This year specifically, not only do I want to be successful, but I want to be mentally, spiritually.
Not I want to be, I'm going to be.
I'm going to be, yeah.
Right.
So
you're already on your path.
Yeah. Last year was really about success for me. I didn't prioritize health. And this year, I did as good as I did with feeling 50%, right? So tell me a day, Zach's life. So
what time you go to bed? What time you go in the morning?
Now I go to bed around, I leave the office at 9, go to bed around 9:30. I wake up 4 a.m.
4 a.m. Just stop right there. So you're smart enough to realize that your morning starts the night before.
100%.
So you go to bed at what time?
9:30.
9:30.
Yeah.
9:30. You're young. And you get up at what time?
4.
4.
Yeah. And this is the thing with me, right? I keep raising the bar for myself. So once I get comfortable waking up at 4, it was easy. Now I start waking up at 3:30, right? But again, I got to walk a thin line because I am trying to be more healthy as well. So I got to make sure I get my sleep in.
So what do you do with 3:34?
I wake up. First thing I do is pray.
Amazing.
Then I meditate, and then I do a grateful journal. The grateful journal, a lot of it is being grateful, but I usually cover that in prayer. A lot of it's just acknowledgement of who you are is important. So I really touch on the flaws, whether that's trying to be a better human, whether not honking at the guy in front of me because he can't drive. I acknowledge those things that I need to work on in my life. So that 10 minutes a day, honestly, you reminisce on it. So when you're caught in that sequence in that moment, you just think about what you wrote that morning. And then from then, hit the gym. I'm in the gym around 5. Out of the gym at 6:30. We got blessed enough to have showers downstairs in our office. So it's pretty much as soon as I hop out of the shower, I'm at my laptop around 6:45, sending out emails, booking in all my appointments. And this goes a long way with the sellers as well, right? Or buyers, they're receiving emails from me at 6:45 in the morning when everybody's, just prepping, eating breakfast.
So are you up early 7 days a week, 5 days a week, 6 days? What?
No, 7. I feel like if you slack off on the weekend, it's just going to fluctuate into your week.
So I'm going to paint a picture. It's Friday night.
Yeah.
You and your friends are out.
Mm-hmm.
Party's beginning, the laughs, the jokes, the atmosphere is starting.
Yeah.
And the Concorde is almost in full flight, just taking off. And it's 9:30. Are you shutting it down and going to bed? Because you got to get up at 3:34. What are you doing?
Well, this is what I'll say. Whatever decision I make in that moment, I'm going to pay for it. Because I made a promise to myself. Mm-hmm. So I'd be lying to you if I said, you don't get caught up in the moment and keep pushing. But I'm not lying to you when I say that morning, I'll pay for it. That was my decision last night, so I'm still waking up at 4 in the morning.
Or just don't even go to bed, like 3:30 comes in.
I'm going to bed. But
that's amazing. What's been your hardest lesson so far?
As soon as you slow down, your business slows down. So if you're not on those phones, you don't feel like making those phone calls, your business is just going to die down.
So right.
Yeah.
So right about that.
Yeah. And, you take those vacations, it's a ripple effect, right? Like like I said, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So it's okay to take some breaks here and there, but the truth is, like, people think, we can just go around Christmas because it's slow, but the truth of the reality is that people are buying and selling every single day. So there's no slow time in the market, but you got to make time for yourself. And I get that, but I also won't allow that to affect me. I still work when I'm on vacation. I still take phone calls. That's why it kind of offends me with some realtors, right? You can't even get a hold of them.
What do clients want from an agent?
Truthfulness, accessibility, urgency, and to be trustworthy, I'd say. that you're actually genuinely trying to protect their best interests.
What do you refuse to compromise on?
That there's a bad market.
I agree. There is no bad market.
It's no bad market. I think it's just numbers, right? If I ever catch myself at a slow time, I will see how many homes sold in the past 30 days. And if I can make 1% of that market, I'm good. There's not a time in the world in Windsor, Essex where 100 homes sold in a month, right? It's always 300, 600. So you're telling me I can't tap into at least 1% of that?
Good thinking.
Right.
What would a past client say about Zach?
This guy doesn't sleep. That's what I would say.
I've heard that before.
I've heard that before. Yep. I truly do. I go above and beyond. Like there's a business aspect where they say, don't exceed clients' expectations drastically, because if they come back, you want to be able to exceed it again. But again, that's me in my personal life. I'm always raising the bar. So if I exceeded it once, I'm going to figure out how to do it again.
Bravo.
So,
what are you looking for in this career?
to be the best.
Why?
I owe it to myself, but I also owe it to the families that are struggling, that, you know, they want to make that life change, but their house is sitting on the market. Even this year, I bought 3 people homes that got told that they couldn't buy houses, right? Just by connecting them to an actual broker that cared, like a mortgage broker, right? And then just going that extra mile. And around a certain price point, realtors, some of us are overpaid, right? They don't put in the effort. They treat someone at a $200,000 budget like, you know, well, I'll get to you when I get to you. And I make a commitment to every single person, whether you're $2 million, $3 million, $100,000 mobile home, it's day and night. I won't sleep until I get them the results.
Zach, I know that you're not chasing success. You're chasing a standard. Tell me about that standard.
I think naturally success comes by just the willingness not to give up, right? Sometimes I'm too hard on myself. You know, I need to dial it back sometimes, but when you know you're capable of so much more than what you're doing, you don't want to sleep, right? Like, I feel like sleeping 6 hours is a waste of time for me. If I could work without sleeping, I would do it, right?
Because you see so much potential.
So much potential.
I know that. I know the feeling, brother.
Right? So, yeah, I think the standard is just, I want to be a better human, a better friend, a better salesperson. Like, everything I do in my life is to better myself, not just for the success, right? It's to make me a better person all the way around.
Do you have a drive to prove something to somebody? And if so, why?
No, I think to myself, right?
You want to prove it to yourself?
To myself, yeah. Kind of touching on what we just talked about, right? When you know there's so much that you can give, right? Why do you got to prove it to? I wake up and I see one person, and that's myself every single day, and I got to live with that, right? So, you know, just the way you talk to people, and, you know, if you're arrogant, like, that reflects on who you are, goes into your business, right? So, yeah, I think me, that's kind of touching on the grateful journal that I do, the acknowledgement portion. Yeah, in the morning when I do my grateful journals.
For how many minutes?
Minimum 10.
So you sit down in front of a journal.
Yeah, write it down, and then I reread it back to myself.
And you write down what? The last 24 hours, your thoughts, the last what? What do you write down? Give me an example of what you write down.
Like, one was when I was starting out on the discipline aspect of waking up again at 4 a.m. You know, I acknowledged that. I said, I'm proud of you, Zach. I always put I love you, Zach, at the end of it too, right? To acknowledge myself. But, I'll point out things in the previous 24 hours that I did that I could have changed, right? Like, hey, you honked at that guy, that was taking too long at the light, right? What could I have done differently? And I think that's the one aspect and the quality of me that I'm very grateful for, because most people can't acknowledge that stuff about themselves, right? But I'm aware of it and I work on it. And like I said, the success for me isn't just the money I'm putting in my bank. It's how I feel. What type of human am I? Because if you're a crappy person without money, you're going to be a crappy person with money.
Yeah.
Right.
So true. So true. Is there a snooze button, or do you just get up?
Now I get up.
You get up, no problem. What
Yeah.
happens if you start slipping?
I say in those moments, honestly, as psychotic as it sounds, I make myself almost suffer a little bit for having that thought, because I'm telling you, it's a ripple effect, right? So if I say, I'm just gonna sleep in, okay, that next morning I'm waking up 15 minutes earlier. I might stay at the office a little bit later, and I dwell on that, right? Because again, those thoughts are always gonna be there, but I will never allow myself, especially with the disciplined mindset that I'm in, to allow a thought like that take over me and my traits as a person. You're never going to feel 100%, right? And in those moments, I'm telling you, that is who you are as a person when that thought comes up and you determine, I'm going to let this affect me, or I'm going to push past this and really push my limits today.
Do you have a vision board?
No.
You don't have a vision board?
No.
Is it in your head?
I'd say it's in my head.
It's in your head? Like,
No.
you see it? Do you, when you close your eyes,
Yeah.
can you visualize it?
I can visualize it.
What's on there?
I want to own.
If you don't mind sharing.
Yeah. I want to own a 2-story home on the water.
What's it look like?
Floor to ceiling windows with a loft style, with a balcony upstairs, 2-bedroom, kitchen on the right, huge depth, hot tub outside, right? And then just seeing my mom's face when I go and pay off all of her debt. That would push me.
That's a big goal for you.
Very big goal.
How many years?
I want to be financially free when I'm 35. Not have to work. But I mean, sure, you told yourself you weren't going to work past 42, right? It's, you'll constantly keep raising the bar, right? It's like when you hear a millionaire, okay, I'm just going to get to 5. And then he gets to 5, then he sets it to 100. And then he hits 100, and then he sets it to 500, right? But I love that chase. I don't think I'll ever change that. And I'm okay with that. I need to be grateful, live in the moment, appreciate the memories, and also don't let my impulsive thoughts of trying to, okay, let's just take this week off, get the best of me, right?
What are you doing that others are not willing to do?
Showing up every day, regardless of how I feel. I think I told you about this. I don't know if we're going to put it on here, but I was in a listing presentation, and this was just after I had kidney issues and I went into my surgery. And I was in a seller's washroom, and I passed 3 kidney stones in the middle of a presentation, right? And I still finished it, right? I didn't rush out of there.
The pain must have been unbelievable.
Yeah, it was probably the worst pain I've ever felt. That specific one, no. Like, it hurt, but like the surgery, yeah. But in that moment, it wasn't. And I felt it on my way to the appointment. But I tell people, you will cancel the appointment before I ever cancel the appointment. If I got to freaking sit on a Zoom call on my bed, and I think I got a review like that when I sold Jeff's house, Jeff Provost. He's like, this guy was in the hospital, in the ICU, and sold my house, right? That's the dedication that I bring. And I tell people, right, like, when you hire me, like, it's not just I sign the listing, right? It goes way far and above that.
What is your personal standard, and how do you stay consistent and disciplined?
Personal, now, try to do one good thing a day.
What's a good thing? Like walking the old lady across the
Yeah. So before I used to pay for the order behind me. I take it much further now because I feel like anybody could do that, right? So I try to make a genuine compliment to a stranger, right? Something that I actually feel, not just a half-ass compliment, but a genuine compliment. You know, try to make someone smile, just make their day.
So let me ask you a question. When you give that compliment to somebody, how do they react?
Usually a huge smile.
Huge smile. So this is the most important part. How do you think you left them when they walked away?
100%.
That smile is still on their face. They're still feeling the power of Zach.
Yeah.
A stranger just gave him a compliment and they feel good about it. And you know what? They're going to probably go home and tell somebody about that.
Yeah. And like...
That's the power.
Yeah. And it's genuine, right? Like it's not, you know, most of the time you're a realtor, you're trying to spark conversation. It's not like that in that moment for me. I'm going to genuinely compliment this guy because I like his shoes, or, you know, you got an incredible smile to a little old lady and she's like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like the feeling you get from that is just something money or even success can't give you.
When do you feel like you're winning, and what does winning mean to you?
When that sold sign goes up.
Yes.
I don't think it's just about business wise. Like I think there's a ton of aspects in it. You know, if I feel good, if I made someone's day, you know, a client tells me, like I said, this goes back on the commission thing. Like my biggest wins have been around the 200, 300,000 mark. You know, you sell $800,000, $900,000 house, you make a lot more commission, but it was pretty easy, right? That person, like I just sold a mom of 6 a house that she was on ODSP and she couldn't get a home, right? And she's like, you made my freaking dreams come true. I had to hop on with the mom to get the mom to co-sign. Like I went above and beyond because it wasn't about the money that I was making on that. It was just, you know, the kids when they walked in the house and they were already planning what they were going to do. That is what gives me gratification.
Isn't it the best feeling ever?
It's the best feeling.
You probably changed that family's trajectory
100%. Forever.
You know, there's that people who are broke and people that are poor. 2 different things, right?
100%.
Zach, do you read any inspirational books? I know you listen to a lot of reels and podcasts and so on. How about books?
Yeah, I read a lot of books. Not so much anymore. And I'm just getting back into, you know, my sequence of things, right? Back in college and university, I read a lot, 40 pages minimum every day. I don't read sci-fi or fictional books, right? I'm big on self-improvement, financial literacy. So yeah, recently I just read Greatest Salesman Ever, Think and Grow Rich. Old one, but this was a couple years ago. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, you know. But recently, Think and Grow Rich, I'd say is my recent book I read.
Tell me about your relationship with God.
I grew up in a very Catholic household. And it's funny, I told my mom this. So when I was a kid, they diagnosed me with oppositional defiance disorder, okay? So it's like, you say black, I'll say white, just to argue it, right? And I laugh about it because I'm like, isn't that funny? Now I get paid to do that. But when you're forced into a religion, I feel like you just naturally push away, right? So it's not like I became an atheist, but I wasn't heavily fixated on my faith. You know, certain circumstances happened when I was 17 that really restored my faith. And then up until probably last year, same thing. Like I was faithful. I went to church the odd time, but it was like my connection wasn't there with God. And I didn't pray, right? The only time I prayed was when I wanted something. And I feel like when you're up, you got to pray. When you're down, you got to pray. Even when you're in the middle, you got to pray. So, yeah, that's one thing aside from the grateful and the meditation, like really heavily on the prayer. And I'll probably up that to 3 times. I pray before I eat now, but I didn't know how to pray, right? And it was actually Alona that taught me how to pray, because she said, listen, you don't need to think too much. Just talk like you're talking to someone. And that's what I've been doing. So yeah, she changed my life in that aspect.
Do you feel that having a better relationship with God is affecting your personal life and perhaps your business?
Yeah, I'd say even if I wasn't successful, I'd still think it's working, because it makes me a better person. It makes me a better human. It allows me to acknowledge what I need to change, how I can be better. So success to me isn't the money I'm putting in my bank. It's how I feel every day.
Who are you when the deal is on the line and it's not coming together?
I never let the client know, honestly. I don't want to put the stress on them. I might make them aware of the situation because I don't want them to feel like I left them out till last minute, but I calm them. I say everything's going to happen for a reason. If it doesn't work out, we'll find you an alternative solution, right? I think it's about taking that stress. I got some gray hairs I can spare, right? So I think it's about being calm in that moment. And again, this goes on the God thing. Like last year, it would take my whole day up because all I would think about is that deal. Now it naturally comes. If you're trying to pump out 6, 7 homes a month, you're gonna have deals that fall apart, right? It's just natural. But as long as I can say I tried everything in my power to try to save it, that's it.
So you try to control the deal.
Yep.
Don't upset the client too much.
No.
Give him a heads up. Solve the problem, and then go back to the client and say, "Look, this is what happened." And
yeah. So I'll give you an instance. Like we just had a deal that sold, and there was $600,000 worth of mortgages on the property. The property's worth $300,000, and it was a refinance issue. The first position never got paid off, and now they're both registered on title. And my client called me. I gave him the heads up. I said, "Listen, this is how it is." Now, I will never lie to them. He said, "Well, does this mean I might not get the house?" I said, "XYZ. At the end of this, you'll know I'll try. I literally tried everything to save the deal. Okay? Don't put it in your mind that you're not going to get it, but just be sure, there might be that little bit of possibility." Anyways, he just wanted to sign the extension because there was a caution registered on the property, which means they freeze the pin. They can't switch over title. So basically, my lawyer sent off an email. He was just going to sign the extension. We asked for $1,000 in legal fees. My client can back out after 15 days. And he's like, "Zach, so what's all this stuff?" I said, "It's to protect you." He said, "Oh, I was just going to sign the extension." I said, "No, but we need to protect you, right? For the inconvenience of you being stuck in this situation, you need to be compensated." So it's just, again, it's not about the deal. It's about, there's certain things that the realtor should be putting themselves in their shoes and say, what would I want if this was happening to me? So I just make sure I go to that angle.
Good. Zach, I've been in this business for a long time. I see a lot of young people, middle-aged, old people. I see all ages. I am thoroughly very impressed with you, with your work ethic, with your notion that failure is not an option and success is a must. Buddy, you're going places. At your age and what you've done already and the success that you've already built, I look forward to seeing Zach in 10, 20 years.
Thank you.
Because I know that and no goal is too small for you and not achievable. You can achieve anything.
I can always dye my hair,
You what?
I can always dye my hair in the future. If I get too much gray from this life, it's...
Gray's going to come. Look at that. I'm very proud of you.
I appreciate that.
I'm honored to work with you on a
you.
regular basis.
I appreciate you.
You're good, man. I love you, man.
I love you too.